I put together a PowerPoint for you. Because this is what my goal is for tonight. So let me just give you this heads up. My goal is for you to leave here with action. Whoops. To be able to leave here tonight with steps and an idea of what you're going to do moving forward to establish a free community. I know this is something I feel like I'm repeating myself. However, the reason why I think this is really important is because recently I started working with my life coach again, and she is helping me in a lot of ways with my business, not just my life, because we've been talking about my business goals lately. So I told her about this group that I started, which is a free community, and I started it 2 or 3 years ago, and how I've got like 700 people in there, but I haven't really been maximizing it as far as the business goes. And so she gave me some action steps to take to focus on for the month of February. And I have started taking them, and I am already seeing so much progress, so many benefits to my business. So that's what kind of made me think tonight we need to talk about creating and maximizing a free community. And this is what we're going to be going over. Y'all can see my screen, right? You can see my PowerPoint. All right. So these are the things we're going to be going over. We're going to be going over establishing your free community niche, creating and promoting the group, staying consistent within the group, because I know that's a big question a lot of us have, is how am I supposed to be inviting and participating in my challenge group? And then, also I've got this free group that I'm supposed to be adding value in, and that's another time thing. Maximizing your funnel, building trust, and then moving people from the free group to your paid group or to your challenge group. So those are the things that we're going to be addressing. I'm going to make this PowerPoint available to you after we finish in case you want to go back over it. But I would also recommend you start taking notes and brainstorming right now as we're on this call, because I think that I might help you to generate some ideas right now. By the way, I want to encourage you, as we're on the call, if you do have ideas, start sharing them in the chat box, because this is something that we could each do the same group, and because of where we're located, it would be okay. None of us would be competing with one another. We would actually just be learning from one another. So to start off with here, establishing and creating your group. So you want to figure out your niche. And the thing I really want you to take away from this is, you're a Beachbody coach, yes, but what else are you? Because if you make a free fitness group, then you are only marketing yourself and your group to those that are already interested in fitness. And if they're in your free fitness group, there's a really good chance that they just want what you're going to give them for free. They're probably not going to make the jump from the free group to the paid group. Now, I'm not saying within your free community you can never do anything fitness or nutrition related. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is, don't put yourself in that box. So figure out your niche. What I would suggest you do is go on Facebook and start searching. Is there a local moms group on Facebook? Maybe you're an autism mom. Is there a local autism mom group? If your town is too small, I live in a pretty big town. So just to give you a reference, we have like 8 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools. So there's a lot of people living in the town that I live in. Now, if I was in my hometown of Essex, New York, it would not be smart for me to do an Essex, New York moms group. It would be smart for me to do like an Essex County moms group and incorporate the entire North Country. But because of where I live, a Sanford moms group is a good idea because it's big. If you're a homeschooling mom, is there a local homeschooling group? And I'm not talking about your co-op. I'm talking about just like a support group. Is there maybe you're a sewer, maybe you're a quilter, maybe you make cards. I know Michelle Battatori makes beautiful stationery and scrapbooking. Is there a local crafting group? If you're not a mom, if you're not married, is there a local singles group? Could you be marketing to your local singles? Don't limit yourself or put yourself in the fitness or beach body or nutrition box. Those are things that are important to us, but they're not the only thing that's important to us. And a lot of times people think they can't be in a free fitness group or a free nutrition group unless they already know what they're doing. And a lot of times none of us know what we're doing. So get out of that box. Be a little more general. People don't always know what they're looking for. So if you just make it a mom's group and then you start incorporating some of your fitness or nutrition stuff, people might be interested. But if you make that exclusive group just for fitness and nutrition, they may not be interested. The thing in all capital letters is something that I learned from Josh Coates. Do not think that taking all this time to create an ebook or a website or I don't know, whatever it is that we spend a lot of time doing that's not a money-making business activity will make your business take off. You have to talk to people. So the benefits of having a free group is that you are creating a community of people that have something in common so that you can start talking to them. It's about opening up conversation and building relationships. That's what the community is about. So if you look at the little graphic over here, this is my Sanford NC parents group. I created this. I made this group back in, I think 2017 actually, because I noticed I was in a group in Wake County, which is about 30 to 40 minutes away from me. And I was asking about things there, but everything I had to travel all the way up there to do. Like if they were doing a mom's night out, it was up in Apex or Raleigh. If I was asking about daycare, they were giving me daycare or doctor recommendations in Wake County. That's a long ways to drive. And so I was like, well, there's gotta be like a Lee County moms group or Sanford moms group. And I went looking for it on Facebook and there wasn't one. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll just make one. And then I'll just keep putting it out there and people that would like to be in it can be in it. So that's how it all got started. I did not start this group with the intent to turn it into a funnel for my business, but I understand the benefits of doing that now. My initial intention was just to find other moms that were local to me and build new relationships with them and have what felt like a community where I could go and say, my daughter's rash hasn't gone away in 4 days and I've tried this and this. What else can I try? Without broadcasting that dirty laundry on Facebook. This felt safer to me to have that community of moms. The next thing is actually creating the group. So if you've never created a group on Facebook before, I've given you a little graphic here to show you what it looks like. It has changed since like 2 years ago. So when you're creating a group on Facebook, you need to first click on groups. Then you click create new group. Keep it simple. Don't try to spend all this time creating this amazing graphic. If you look back at my graphic, it's literally a quote I found on Pinterest. And I've changed it a couple times. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. But it is what it is. I made my group private because I wanted it to feel safe. You can decide if you want it to be public or private, but I wanted people to know that only people within the group could see their posts. The next important thing for you to do is to establish some norms for your group and make sure you spell them out. If you would like to see my norms once you decide what group you're gonna, create, then I'm happy to share them with you. I actually modeled them off of another mom's group that I'm in for another area of the state. So if you would like to see them, but I do think it's really important. Otherwise, you're going to have all of the Jamberry nails, if that's even a thing anymore, on all of the, all these different people, like Mary Kay and all these people that sell things, posting their salesy, icky stuff in your group all the time. So right away, I established that that's not okay. We are not a marketing group. If they want to do that, they need to find a group for that. I literally say that in my norms. Like if you're here to solicit, find a group specifically for soliciting. What I say is every Saturday we'll have a small business thread and I will post it and you are free to advertise whatever it is you want to advertise, whether you're a photographer or a hairdresser or a makeup artist or what have you, whatever you do, you can share it on Saturday in that thread. That way, if we're looking for something, we know where to look and it's not clogging up our feed, because that's not what we're going into that group for. And then also share the group. And I'm going to go into a little more detail about how to share the group once you've got it established. But I really want you to take this away. The things you need to change in your business are the things you don't want to do. So some of you right now are thinking, I'm not going to run a free group. I already have a hard enough time managing my challenge group and, sending out invites and getting my power hour in every day. Y'all, this free group almost runs itself. Since I've been investing, I'm not even going to say I've been investing more time, because really that wouldn't be true. What I've been doing is I've been more purposeful with the group. I've had more intentionality when it comes to the group. Since I've been doing that, I've seen it start to move my business forward in different ways and start new conversations. A lot of seeds are being planted right now because of this group. So right now, if you're telling yourself, I can't do this, or I'm not interested in this, or this is just one more thing, you need to think to yourself, what are my goals? Because what I'm doing right now isn't going to get me there, or it already would have. If what I'm doing now isn't working, then this is probably one of the things I could try to change in my business to get where I want to be. No, I don't want to do it, but if I do it, there might be a good payoff later. So that's what I want you to take away. And I don't mean payoff like necessarily just money. We'll talk about that later too. I also want you to encourage your friends and your members in the group to invite their friends. This is a way to explode your network. Do I know all 700 people in my group? Heck no. No. In fact, I think I walked past one on Saturday or Friday in Walmart, and I was like, ooh, I know her, but she probably doesn't know me. So I'm just going to keep walking because this is weird. But I saw her and I was like, oh, I think she's in my mom's group. Label the group. So if you look over at this little graphic I have on the side, it says, I'm so sorry, I can't stop coughing tonight. It says invite members, hide the group type. The group type is what I'm talking about. Give it a label. When people are looking for groups on Facebook and you have given it a label or a category to fall in, it's going to come up as a suggestion for them. So if I'm looking for a group on Ray Dunn, if someone has their group tagged Ray Dunn, it's going to pop up as a potential for me to join. For example, I'm in a divorced moms group. I've been looking over stuff and talking to people in that group over the past 2 days. When I looked up the word divorce in Facebook, it was one of the groups that popped up for me. So I joined it because I felt like it would be a good support for me just to be surrounded by other people who were going through the same thing. And it turns out it is. And now I'm having the opportunity to go in the group and help other women who are just starting to go through some of the things that I've been going through in the last 2 years. And just keep sharing the group. Share. And again, we'll talk about how to do that. Staying consistent. I know this is our number one concern when we're taking on what feels like one more thing, but I wanted to show you a couple examples of what staying consistent in this free group looks like for me. You want to encourage engagement. So in my group on any given day, 15 different people could post because they're asking for what pediatrician would you recommend? They're saying things like, I have got to lose this last 10 pounds of baby weight. Does anybody want to go to the park and walk with me? They're saying things like, what daycare do you put your children in? Or what school is the best school? I'm moving to the area soon, and this is what I'm looking for. Where should I apply for jobs? Blah, blah, blah. Small Business Saturdays is a very easy way to stay consistent. I go in and schedule the Small Business Saturday post for every Saturday at the beginning of each month, and it just posts. Went on Saturday morning at like 6 a.m. Engagement posts. So if you look at the picture of me with my duck face and my Oreos, that particular day was rough at home with my daughter. That last week was particularly rough with my daughter. So I got all the way through the night and realized I hadn't eaten anything. So instead of cooking something, I just had Oreos and was like, you know what? I'm going to let somebody else know that they don't have to feel shameful about having Oreos for dinner. So I just put in there that picture and said, anyone else having one of those parenting days where you eat the Oreo because damn, it's just hard. I could have posted that on my Facebook page. I could have, but it felt safer to post it here for a lot of reasons for me, but also just because I knew almost every single person in this group could relate. There's people on my Facebook who aren't moms. There's people on my Facebook who are mom shamers. There's people on my Facebook that are family or ex-family that would love to see a post like this and turn it into topic of conversation at the next family meal. And I didn't want that to happen. So I put it in this group to get engagement. And you see there's 29 comments on that. Lots of people were like, yeah, I feel you, mama. Polls. So you'll see a poll on the next slide that I did recently where you're just like asking advice and giving them poll options. Ask advice. The other day I came in here and I simply wrote, where do you buy your honey? Because I ran out of honey. I made muffins and I literally scraped the bottom of the jar to have enough to make my muffins and was like, man, I've never bought honey because someone's always given me honey for like a Christmas gift and I didn't get any this year. So where do I buy honey? Because I want local honey. Post daily or weekly. Try to give yourself a goal to go in there and just post and comment on other people's posts. Keep the engagement going. You want to keep your posts like a conversation. Like I think sometimes when we do free groups, we focus so much time and energy on teaching something or training something or adding value in a very specific and focused way. And that's wonderful, but that's what we're doing in our challenge groups. So why are we giving that away for free? When in reality, what a lot of people need is just to know that they're not the only one. So that can be your daily or weekly post. You don't necessarily have to be teaching them something new that they've never heard before. You could just let them know that they're not alone if they had Oreos for dinner or a bowl of cereal for dinner, or if they want to pull their hair out. It's okay. Share freebies. And I'm not talking about freebies that you spend time creating. I am talking about freebies that you find that you think are useful. For example, a podcast. We do this all the time in our team page. There are so many podcasts that I listen to that I think every single woman or mom in the world should hear. So I'll share them in there. I'm adding value to them. I'm going to talk about how that's even more beneficial here in a minute. But the value, like I've been sharing my weekly menu, and not a single one of those recipes is something I've created. It's something I found on Pinterest and now I'm sharing it. It's just because I didn't create the content doesn't mean I'm not at will to share it. In fact, someone put it on Pinterest because they wanted it to be shared. As long as I'm not saying I did this, it's absolutely okay for me to give credit where credit is due and pass it along. They're still going to come to me. Just tonight, I had someone coming to me asking me all about this, how I did my bathroom tile, how I painted it on Instagram. I did not come up with that idea. I got that idea from another girl I follow who does DIY stuff on Instagram. I gave her a little bit of credit in one of my stories. And then I told the girl, I said, I've actually been highlighting my entire bathroom remodel journey in my story highlights. If you want to click on it, it goes into detail what this product is and how to use it. And so I directed her there. So I showed her, I gave her a freebie, something that somebody else gave to me for free. And then I actually showed her, I can add even more value for you. Go to my stories. I didn't spend a lot of time messaging her, telling her all the details of what I was doing or how I did it. I told her where to go to get more information. I directed her to another place on my site. It's all there for her. So don't think that you need to spend time creating the cute graphics or the weekly menu needs to be color coded and all this. It really doesn't. And I've started blogging about my weekly menu because one of my girlfriends was like, you should share this. And I was like, okay. So I started blogging about it, and now I just send them the link to that blog post when they ask for the recipe. So make life easy for you. Maximizing your funnel. Reach out to people that are set up for the business, not necessarily fitness minded, but business minded. So think about how to promote your business through these free groups. You need to kind of groom them. I know that sounds horrible, but it is. I mean, it's like forming someone or grooming them. So in my group, I'm constantly asking things that are business minded. So for example, I asked on last Sunday, what would, like if we did a mom's book club, a virtual book club, and met up once a month to talk about it and then virtually talked about it on a weekly basis, would you be interested? A lot of moms said yes. So then I found 3 titles that I would like to read, and I put them into a poll. And what I did is I picked 2 that are personal development, and I picked 1 that's fiction because I kind of wanted to feel out my group. This is the first time doing this. The one that's fiction is the one that has the least votes. The one that we are going to be reading in the month of March is the one you see over on the right-hand side of my screen. It's called When Less Becomes More by Emily Ley. This is me grooming them. This is me helping them to work on themselves so that whenever they see what I'm doing as far as my business goes, they might feel a little more confident in themselves and a little more interested in what I'm doing because maybe they don't think they can't do it anymore because they've been working on themselves. Share the podcast that really speaks to you. Ask them what they think of the podcast. Do a book club. Share these things that lift you up. Maybe it's a quote from Brene Brown or Rachel Hollis. Share that in the group. That's a freebie. And it's also kind of getting them headed in the direction that you want them to head. Share how this would impact their life without being icky about it. Keep it personal. Another thing that my life coach recommended was every time a new member comes into my group, I get a notification or they request to join the group and then I have to let them in. And I have like 2 basic questions asking, like, I think one of them is, how many kids do you have? And the next one is, what town do you live in? Just because I don't want someone in Sanford, Florida joining my group. This is a Sanford, North Carolina group. And there legit is a Sanford, Florida, because at first I thought there was a Sanford, North Carolina moms group and I accidentally joined the Sanford, Florida one. So that's how I figured that out. But introduce them. So when they join your group, say, oh, let's welcome our new members this week. So, all joined our group. Welcome to the group. Tell us a little bit about yourselves and encourage that. And then friend them. So one thing I did not do, and I'm kicking myself for it, that's my focus for the month of February, is I did not friend every single person who requested to join my group. And one of the things Julie told me was, go back and start doing that now. Go back and start friending people. So I am. I'm not friending all 700. What I'm doing is I'm going through, and if they're already an Herbalife coach or something like that on their profile, I'm not sending them a friend request. Mostly because I just don't think it's worth my time and worth losing that option to friend someone else. But friend new members and introduce people. Start building that relationship. Get them used to talking. So another thing about my virtual book club and then our meetup is that I'm getting them to step outside their comfort zones. Like, we're going to meet at a coffee shop on this day and we're going to talk about this book with a group of women that we've never met before. We're going to meet for the first time and speak to one another about a personal development book. That's pretty major. Like, that's one of the biggest steps in being a coach. So being able to put yourself out there and talk to others that you've never met, right? So this is me just helping them along the way. Building trust. Do not promote your business unless you're allowing everybody else to promote theirs. It is totally not okay for me to say, I'm hosting a free boot camp on Saturday. Anybody want to join? And then some other girl posts about a free essential oils workshop she's hosting and me say, sorry, you can't do that here. Just because it's my group doesn't mean that I get to break the rules. It has to be the same for everybody, which is why I created Small Business Saturdays. Share the freebies. Always share the freebies. A recipe that you find that's really good. Blog posts that you find that's really good. No cold invites within the group. So back in the day, I know that multi-level marketers got a really bad rep for doing this. They would join groups on Facebook and then automatically start friending everybody and messaging everybody like, hey girl, hey, I got this and it's working for me. How about you? And that is icky. Don't do it. Even if you're the admin, even if you feel like it's totally acceptable, it's not. Don't cold invite. Yuck. Share your story within the group. So again, you could be sharing it on your Facebook page, but you can also share it in that more intimate community and see how they respond. Establish that trust. Let them into your life. Ask for advice and answer other people when they ask for advice. So when someone asks for advice on what dentist I like for my kids, I always respond with Sanford Pediatrics because that's the dentist I like for my kids. I've probably answered that same question 25 times in that group in the last 2 years, but every time I answer it, new people see it and new people think, oh, Lindsay knows what she's talking about, even if I don't. Talk to people like you would your sister. Do not talk to them like they're a future customer or a potential new teammate. Talk to them like they're your sister or your friend or your coworker. Don't go in with the intent to sell. The only way to last and to have your group continue is to be you. Don't be a Beachbody coach. Be yourself. Social media posts do not equal money. They build trust. And then the trust can eventually turn into money. Moving people from the free group to the challenge group. So again, you have to share. You have to be willing to share within the group. Get the conversation private if you feel like you're at a point where you can do that. Like when I'm on a small business Saturday post and I share a transformation story on that post and someone comments saying, how'd you do that? Or they like it, then I feel like it's okay for me to get the conversation private. Or if there's someone I notice posting often in my group, I will send something like you see in number 1 here. Hey, I was just, like stalking your Facebook page and I really like your glasses. Where did you get them? Or I saw you drinking a chai tea latte. Where in Sanford can I get one of those? Kind of thing. When you do get to the point where you feel like you can invite, you need to talk about how it changed your life. Don't just invite and tell them what you have to offer because people don't, especially women, don't care about that. We don't. We care about how it affected you emotionally and mentally, and then we want to know if it could do the same thing for us. We don't necessarily care that I'm going to get this, this, and this for this price. Don't just invite to your challenge groups. When you invite to the business. Other tips. So create FOMO. So one of the things that I have decided to really focus on within my mom's group is one Saturday a month, I'm going to plan a mom's night out. So we have our very first one, the first weekend in March. It's going to be a bowling night and it's going to be all us moms meeting at the bowling alley. And it's disco bowling on that, or no, it's a Friday night. It's disco bowling and it's like $15 a person and you can get a bucket of beer and bowl and just like get to know each other and have some fun. The other thing that I'm doing is at least once a month, I'm planning a play date and I'm creating the event within the group so that people see it, they can join, they can get the notification, they can invite their friends to the event, that kind of thing. So our first play date is actually this Saturday and we're going to the new park in town. It's an amazing park. And I told everybody to wear red or pink because it's Valentine's Day so that we know we're part of the moms group. And there's a picnic area. So I'm going to try to maybe put up a little sign saying Sanford Moms Group so that people know where to sit if they want to sit, and just create, and then take pictures of us doing those things and share them within the group to create FOMO. People don't want to miss out on stuff. Respond to the comments. That bumps up your posts and your engagement within the group. Honestly, I think Facebook has really started focusing more on groups and comments because if you haven't noticed, because you don't spend a lot of time scrolling on Facebook, if you look at your news feed on your phone, it's probably mostly stuff that it is being posted in groups. You're probably not seeing very much of other people's timelines. For whatever reason, Facebook is like bumping up the stuff that's going on in the groups. So posting in a group is probably more beneficial to you than posting on your timeline anyway. Use the chats feature. So this is a really cool feature in groups that's new. I need to figure out if it's in every group or if you have to like set up the settings of your group to incorporate it. But the chats feature allows you to message every single person within the group without having to like go into Messenger, type in their name, send them a message. It allows you to do it within the group. So you can do this in your challenge groups if you want to. You can do it in your free groups, in whatever. So you can chat with people in there. I found a really great video from Brooke Lipoff, who's an amazing coach with Beachbody. It's 10 minutes long, and it's good personal development on how to run a free group. And I linked it here. So when you go into this PowerPoint later, if you want to click on that and listen to it for your personal development while you work out or while you're in the shower, that would be a really great thing to listen to. I really want to encourage you with your free group to follow your passion. Do not create the free group solely for the purpose or the content of your group to move your Beachbody business forward. Do it from your heart. If you're doing this simply to move your Beachbody business forward, people will feel that and they'll leave the group. If you are doing it because you genuinely want to create community and help people, like for me, creating a community for moms to feel comfortable is my jam. Like that is, moms need to know that they are more than a mom, and they need to know that they are worthy of self-care and time to themselves and a peaceful shopping trip to the grocery store without a toddler running over the back of their ankles with their own little shopping cart. And we need to know that. And sometimes we get so lost in this identity of being Carson's mom or Laurel's mom that we forget about who we are outside of that. So my passion is to create this community where we realize I'm not the only one that feels like there's got to be more to this than just being a mom. And I'm not the only one who feels a little guilty about wanting to be more than a mom. But now I've got all these other people who also want to be more than a mom. So maybe I need to put the guilt aside and just do it. Be more than a mom. Now, I am saying don't create the group with the intent for it to be a Beachbody thing. Don't go into it with that purpose, but you have to go into it with a purpose. You can't just start the group and be like, this is awesome. Because that's kind of what I did 3 years ago, because I really didn't think about capitalizing on this at all. And now I'm having to go back and backtrack and do some of the things that I wish I would have been doing from the beginning. So this is some of the things that I wrote on my phone when I was in my call with Julie. I know I'm running over 9 o'clock, so I'm going to be real quick here. For my mom group, I wrote a couple bullets. One was to friend everybody. One was to send personal messages to them, welcoming them to the group. One was also, which I haven't done this yet, I feel like I probably need to, and then ask them to do the same thing, is to like make a post with a picture of me and the kids and say, thank you so much for being in this group. I'm Lindsay. I'm the admin of the group. I have 2 kids, Laurel and Carson. I'm super excited to connect with other moms, blah, 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 blah. Tell me about yourself, and have them do the same thing underneath the post. I did a poll a couple weeks ago asking what did they want from the group? Like, did they want play dates? Did they want mom's nights out? Did they want all these other things? And people gave me feedback. So that's kind of helped me with the direction of the group. A lot of people are looking for community and relationship building. So that's been my primary focus this month. Personally welcome new members. Every week, consistently ask people to invite their friends to the community. That's something I had not thought of. And Julie said she does that in her free group every week. And her network has just expanded. Her funnel just keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I've been doing that. And since then, we've gone from 640 people to 700 people in 2 weeks, you guys. 2 weeks. 60 new people have joined. And again, expand your network. We grow by invites only. That's the only way we grow. My local moms and parents group, my goal, like I said, is to give moms a community that feels safe and allows us to come together as more than moms, to create play dates, mom's night out, building friendships, etc., to learn from others, because I'm not perfect. Just because I'm a Beachbody coach doesn't mean that I'm the person who should always be the one giving advice and teaching things, but to learn from other people and then also to give to others. That's the purpose of my group. So this is what I want you to leave here tonight and do. Now you have to take action. Go look right now. Is there a local moms group or crafters group or singles group in your area? If not, create one right tonight or tomorrow morning, first thing. Invite your local friends that fit that bill. So if it's a mom group, invite your local mom friends. If it's a singles group, invite your local single friends. Don't invite the mom to the singles group unless she's a single mom. Label the group. Share in the group and establish norms. Welcome and friend new members and consistently post and add value. So let me stop sharing and see if there are any comments or anything for me to respond to. Yes, it's very strategic. A meal prep group. Yes. I think it would be really fun too if you like did a freezer meal party or something and had people come over and everybody make their freezer meals and go like bring like pay this much to be in it or bring these ingredients to be in it, and then everybody goes home with like 3 different meals or something. I think that'd be really fun. I've seen some of my friends do that in the past. Alrighty, so I am going to stop recording and leave you guys with that.